Hi, this is Jenny, creatively inspiring others. Today we're going to do a watercolor picture using warm colors, only primary colors of red and yellow to blend to make all the different colors of fall. And then to make the tree a birch tree is super simple. So today we're going to do a lesson with watercolor with warm colors for my third grade class. So we simply drew a tree, sketched it with a pencil, a little bit bigger at the bottom as if we were looking up into the tree, so there's a little bit of perspective. So I talked to them about that, and then I just put a couple little branches, nothing huge or humongous, just very simple, because what I want to teach is color blending of warm colors with the watercolor. So you always want to get your watercolors wet first, and I know some people use spray bottles and other people don't. And I'm trying to only have the students use primary colors. Right now we're at the beginning of the year, so I'm just encouraging the red and the yellow. So the first thing I do is I will get my watercolor paper and I will just get it wet all around my tree, because the watercolor paint only goes where the water is. So we're just going to kind of get that wet. I like to use my own paint brushes that are a little more, hold a little bit more water. The ones that come in kits are kind of sad. But and then you'll just dip into your paint and you'll just kind of dab it on, kind of blending it around. And you can get over here and get some yellow and kind of just dab it around. You can add more water and it just kind of flows as you do that around into making color blended pictures for the background, because we don't want it to be one color. We just kind of want to dab it around and get some of the different colors in here. The more paint you have, of course, the more bold and bright it is. And kind of help that on its way a little bit. And of course, the more red that comes in here, the darker red it is. So it only goes where the water was. You just kind of dab it in there. Add more water if you'd like. And of course, you can always add more color. But at this point, they've only used the red and the yellow. And they've got all kinds of different colors of leaves going in there. We're just kind of dabbing it around. And up to that line. So we're going to do the other parts of this paper and then I will return. I'm just adding some more water. Just letting it blend together, dabbing it in there. And I know a lot of people teach their students with taping their paper down, but I'm a traveling art teacher, so I don't have the opportunity to have students just leave their work until it dries. I'm in there for 40 minutes, and that includes clean up and set up and clean up and getting the class in order, and I don't have a lot of time to do that and leave the papers. So I kind of work with what I have. And yes, it gets a little wrinkly, but it's still, you know, it works and the kids get their lesson. So I'm on my last little space here. Oops, something got on there. Get my paints some more. Water is your best friend with watercolor. Always remember that. I know it sounds crazy, but I have to say that a lot. Getting up to the edge. Okay, and then we're just gonna let this dry so that we can do the next step. All right, so to finish this piece, we're going to use a permanent marker. And we're going to go down the edges of the outside of our tree. It looks like my marker is kind of dying out here, so I'm going to trade markers here. Alrighty, so we're going to just kind of go on the outside with a permanent marker. My first attempt, the marker was kind of dying on me, so I did get another permanent marker so that I could finish this with you. I'm just going to kind of go on the outside, or just on the inside of where you watercolored. This poor marker's not doing too well either. So you just kind of went on the outside of it to outline the tree. Okay, and then because this is a birch tree, you're going to make a few random lines that go across the trunk or the branches. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go like this across here. I would have to go with the branch. And you just do some random spots. And then this one, the trunk, you'll just do a few random spots. There's slashes across there. And then once again up here, you'll do them going with the branch. And you just do a few here and there, and it gives the illusion that it is a birch tree and your masterpiece is ready for your signature. I hope you have enjoyed this and this inspires you to do fall paintings. Until next time.